Alright, so guys, hello and welcome back. If you're new, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and comment down below. And if you're old, as to the usual, we might make that saying in our video, and then we'll put it at the start of every video we make. Right, just as I slip my on the shirt on the wrong side, I switch that and come back here. Alright, so I come back now. Alright, welcome to a story time murder mystery solve Sunday. That's murder mystery solve Saturday. Alright, so we did it on YouTube and watch something, and then this video come up as a recommendation or something like that. So I say I'm gonna post a reaction to it. This case like 5 years old or so stuff like that, but we are gonna watch it anyways because just blow my mind. And I did record one video yesterday, but I lose some of the footage. So I redo it. Alright, so today we have bacon, egg, and fried green plantain. And we have apple. I don't really like them kind of apple here, so I cut up the apple, I throw pepper on it, and I throw black pepper on it. And you know, as usual, I have my water. I put like tongue in a head because I really like the color of water, so it kind of sweet too. And we have the apple juice. Alright. I have the pepper, since remember the hot pepper not so hot for the apple, I still carry the pepper. Alright, so let's get into this solving of this key. Like, I never give a spoiler alert, but no, we'll go through the video together step by step. Let's go. Alright, so we're going to start now. We're going to start.
She raped my son. I intentionally killed her.
How did you do that?
Starting from the beginning, when I found out about what Stony...
Just so you guys know, Stony Blair is her 13-year-old daughter. So yes.
was doing. It was 9 months later after finding out about Stephen. So for the whole 9 months, we were in the house. She was still raping my child. Did not know that. When I first found out, after told me, I took a minute because I was not understanding, that she did that to him. But I repeatedly punched her on many occasions. My son, I told him to tell me every single thing that she did to him. So as she was telling me, he was telling me more and more things that she did. I assaulted her every time he told me what she did to him. By assault, I mean I punched her. I put a bag over her head till she lost consciousness. I threw hot water on her, scalding hot water from the faucet.
Okay, so if there's anything I learned from watching like burn survivor, like people who get burned up as kids, as adults, avoid the face and the genital at all cost. Burn anywhere but the face and the genital. Like, oh my god, that's just pure evil right there. I mean, you should not burn someone up, but avoid the face and the genital. The face, you disfigure them. The genital, you burn off them wee, them VG. Like, avoid it. Let's continue.
Yes, I hit her head multiple times, over and over.
So we currently.
That was actually the day before she died and the day she died.
Okay.
I hit her on her back. It's like her tailbone.
I have to search up what the hell a tailbone is because I don't know what the hell a tailbone is. You know, you have your two cheeks and the bone that is in the center of your back that coming down. The end part of it is a tailbone. The cheeks are here, the tailbone is here. He hit somebody else, so that must hurt. But anyways, let's continue.
I kicked her.
Okay, I just want to clarify a few things. And perhaps you don't know, but did this happen on or about May 25th, 2014? To the best of your
May
recollection?
25th is actually the day she died. Well, the day I killed her.
And you killed her by putting a grocery bag over?
May 25th, 2014. She was 13 years old. I was also 13 then too. What if it was me? I made joke, and it not gonna happen to me. But like, she was 13, I was 13 then too. Mind you, my birthday is in May. And this happens a couple days, like 2 weeks after my birthday also. Coincidence. Let's go anyways. Oh child, a 13-year-old you torture, so whew, let's go.
Yes, that day would tell me different things because she was doing this to him for years. And I did not know that. You get what I'm saying? And I didn't find out till 9 months later. She had started with Steven. She ruined my son, okay?
Steven is her, I would say her 9th child, because she has one that's 17, she has one that's 13, she has one that's 9, and one that's 6. She beat the 9-year-old, which is Steven, the 13-year-old, which is Tony. So yeah, because they raped the 6-year-old, which is the last boy. So okay.
She started with Steven before he even started. So, yes, I put a bag over her head, but it got worse that day. Yes, I did. It got worse that day because he would tell me how she would take her pad, her menstrual pad, and squeeze her blood out in his mouth. Okay?
Where the hell would a 13-year-old learn to squeeze a menstrual pad with your cycle in someone's mouth? I mean, when 13, most people, quote unquote, when they're 13, that's when they just start getting their period. Where would she learn that? When she just started getting her period? Like, where the hell would this child learn all that? Like, what? Something not adding up. I mean, yeah, your mind get curious sometimes, and when it gets curious sometimes, it don't stop until you do the stuff that you're curious about. Some people have full control, some people don't have full control over a curious mind, but oh well, let's.
And it was over with after that. It was over with.
You meant to kill her.
I definitely meant to kill her.
Wasn't an accident.
No, not at all. If I had a chance to do it again, I would.
When you went and got the grocery bag and suffocated her, that was your intent.
Yes. She was standing in the bathtub. I was throwing hot water on her. My son was standing to my right outside the bathroom door, and he was telling me everything he was telling me. I looked at her, and I'm like, "You did this?" And she was like, "Yes." So I actually had a stick, and I was hitting her in the head. Every time he told me something, I hit her very hard in her head, and I was throwing hot water on her. And when I actually took her out of the bathroom,
And she said, and I throw hot water on her. She remind me of a chicken, a cow, a pig, a goat. You know, when you throw the hot water upon them, and you just gust on this, and the hair just gone. Child, God. This lady, she doesn't deserve life in prison. She doesn't even deserve the death penalty. I don't know what hell is, so I can't say she deserves hell. But this is just pure downright evil. Not the fact that they're underage, but also that the fact that they're her children. I get the rape part. My heart goes out to that little boy. If everything he said is true. Everything. So some stuff might happen, some might not happen. That's what I think. But like, these are kids. These are your kids. You carry these kids for 9 years. You raise them for no, you carry these kids for 9 months. I fed them on an elephant for 9 years. Elephant raised witness so long. Alright, so you carry these kids for 9 months. Then you raise one for 13 years. And then you raise one for 9 years. And you just get so pissed the fuck off one day that you was just right, okay, I'm just gonna kill you. I don't care what happened. I raised you this long. I don't care what, and I'm just gonna kill you. I mean, you're gonna be mad about what happened, what they did to their little brother, but not so pissed off that you would take the situation into your own hand and just make it worse. Like, what happened when the your oldest is still alive and your youngest is still alive? What happened when they grew older and they started asking about their brother and their sister? This is gonna be on the internet for years to come, and they're gonna grow old and they're gonna see her. She get life in prison, by the way, so they're gonna know why she's in there one day eventually. Let me see how old he would be right now. Okay, so he was 6 then. So he would be around 11 now. That little boy would be around 11 now. And that 17-year-old would be around 22, 23, right? 22. Yes, 22. You know, when I do the quick math, sometimes I have a jar for your 10 finger and I'm count on them. Let me do that. But, child, you blow my mind with this cruelty. Right. Anyways, let's continue.
I took her back in her room, and I just kept staring at her, and I said, excuse my language, to him, just like, you know, I'm constantly asking her. She kept saying, I hate him. And I'm like, you hate him? You know,
I don't really think this 13-year-old is talking about the literally hate. You know, the hate when adults have this grudgeful hate towards somebody. No, like, I grew up, I have siblings. Yes, I hate one or two of them, but not to the extent that I hate them, that I would rape them or would kill them. But like, I just hate them. Like, it's just like a in the moment thing. It's just like a sibling thing. Like, I hate you. You're my sibling. I hate you. You're annoying. You're my sibling. I hate you. You know, stuff like that. Like, I don't really think the sibling hate the Stony hate her brother to the extent that she would kill him. Maybe she do rape him, as they says, but I don't think she hate him to the level that she would kill him. Just like the mama, she hate her daughter to the level that she would kill her. Like, yo. And the fact that she killed her and put her in the freezer for motherfucking 3 years. 3 years. The fathers, they're much better. I'm gonna go on their case. I'm gonna get on their case because those two are motherfucking deadbeat, period. So let's go anyways. I'm gonna get on their case later on.
And she admitted to me that she hated Steve. She hated everybody. And I'm asking her why. She says, everybody always think so cute. And I'm like, so you brother, because you get what I'm saying. So
it's like, you know, when you have a new sibling in the family, everybody started flaunting attention to that new person, like giving them attention, giving them all the love. That's what happened in this case. Like, no one wasn't really paying her attention. They were paying the younger one more attention and affection and love, and she just went off the rail. Like, that's what happened right here. Poor Throw. She's also a teenager, so you know she might be in that emotional stage right there. So, yeah.
I meant to. I definitely meant to. And I do not feel any remorse for what I did to Stony. Because she had no remorse for what she did to my son. And it's not only raped him, she gang raped him with.
Does she even really know the full definition of remorse? Like, I'm talking about the daughter. Does the daughter even really know the full definition of remorse? Like, to me, at that age, remorse would be one big word. Like, this is just so crazy.
Ross sitting on the floor, he was telling me this is how I found out about both of them doing it together. But it was too late. Stephen was gone. But told me that Stoney would actually make him sit there while, in his words, him and Stoney her and Stoney did the nasty stuff, and then they did it to him. And
So
now
this was
that's
your way of inflicting punishment?
definitely.
Okay. Okay. Where did that happen? The death?
Her actual death.
Yes.
I
Not
guess,
the location of the house. Where did you live at the time?
oh,
Is that the city of Detroit?
yes.
Okay.
Your Honor,
Go ahead.
can we ask Ms. Blair if she ever actually saw or witnessed any of these acts with regard to Stoney or
Okay.
I don't know why the hell she turned around.
Did you ever actually see anything of any sexual abuse of any kind between either Stephen and Stoney?
I reject her question, but I will answer it because no one will say that this did not happen because it actually did.
I just want to have a clear record. Because so far, all you've told me was that you just heard it. Did you ever
And that
actually
they
see it?
admitted it. No, I did not. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I
But
understand.
as I went back in my head and thought back to all the many things that was wrong with you over the years, and I'm like, that's what was wrong with you? He'll use the bathroom and say, Mom, my butt hurts when I poop. I don't know. So I started giving him
At some stage in life, whether you're Pitney or you're adult, when you're able to do your butt hurt, you know, because it's based on some of the stuff that you eat, the way the body break it down, and then you excrete of it, like, you know, the way it's come out. It depends on what the hell you eat. I'm not saying it might not be true. It might be true that they rape him, his butt hurt, but it can also be because of what he eat, like, and the fact that that's the only, at the moment, that's the only proof she has. Oh my God, she messed up.
100% juice to make his stool softer, baby, to help him use. But that wasn't the problem. It wasn't his stool. It was that he was being raped. Okay, my son looked me in my eyes and he gave me a very detailed account of everything they did. He's not a violent boy. He is a very sweet little boy. So for him to stand there and look at me and say,
A 6-year-old giving very good details. I mean, I don't even remember what the hell happened when I was 6. Was I a girl? Was I a boy? Did I used to stay outside? Did I used to stay inside? I don't remember. But his mind is good.
do it again, he was hurting. You know?
Okay.
At a certain point, I told him to stop talking. I said, Stoney, you tell me to my son. And I said, if she say anything that's not right, tell me. She started telling me many things. And I also asked her, so why didn't Stephen tell me that when I asked him, did anybody do this to him? Why didn't he tell me that you did it to him? Because Stoney was going upstairs, beating Stephen's ass, threatening him. Basically, at a certain point, after I was hitting Stephen, I didn't want to look at him. I didn't want to look at him, so I told him to go to his room. When it came time to eat, I didn't want to take no food up, so I sent Stoney up because she volunteered, not knowing at that time that Stoney was raping either of them. But every time she went upstairs, I wouldn't have known if she hit him or not because I had put many bruises on him. So
I would not be proud at all to say I have put many bruises on him. And then his sister then turn around and abuse him also. Like, oh my God. For a 9-year-old, that's a lot to take on. And also, the girl was in the freezer for 3 years. Yes. Wait, the girl was in the freezer for 3 years. And this happened over 5 years ago. So that 13-year-old would be around 21 right now. Yes. Because 5 years, the case is 5 years. She was in that freezer 3 years before that 5 years. And she was 13 before that 3 years. I don't know. I don't know if she was 13 before that 3 years or if she was 13 after that 3 years. So we don't know her age, her definite age at this point. But the girl was in the freezer for 3 years, and the guy had got the 9-year-old was in the freezer before the 13-year-olds. We can't blow that English something. All right, so the 9-year-old, the 13-year-old did in there. The 13-year-old going the second, the 9-year-old going the first. And then she killed the 9-year-old, and then it's either a couple months or a couple weeks after she killed the 9-year-old, she started beat the 3-year-old. So the boy would have ended up for about 4 years and the girl 3 years. That many ones a whole lot.
She went upstairs. She admitted to me that she was hitting him also, knocking the hell out of him, telling him, you better not tell her nothing. You get what I'm saying?
I understand. When she admitted these things to you, were you always being physical with her?
The first time, no. We were sitting there.
Okay.
She denied it constantly. I'm like, Stony, you better tell me. Sitting here, he don't know nothing about it. He constantly, you get what I'm saying? Who would admit that? Who would admit that if they did not do it?
All right, tell me what happened to Stephen.
Basically the same thing. Can I ask you a question first? The people standing behind this woman who just asked the question, is she trying to make it seem like this did not happen?
No. We just have to have a clear record.
Okay.
This is your time to talk. Go ahead.
I hate this, her lawyer with a passion. The fact that he could digest this case and have the nerves to stand up in court beside this lady with a case like this. Like, I dislike him. I dislike him.
Right now, ma'am, this is just you choosing to plead guilty. The people do not have any sort of plea.
Like, I'm willing to take a polygraph test. It's like, because I understand people don't want to hear me, period, but I'm going to take everything.
Tell me what happened to Stephen.
I came home one day. My daughter, my oldest, met me at the door, and she's like, Mom, come see what he's doing with his dials. And I'm like, what is he doing? He was making one dial, his little wrestle man, up on top of the other. No, I'm like, why was you doing that? I said, anybody ever do this to you? He said, no. I said, then why are you doing that? And he said, yes, Stephen did. And I was like, so this is the first I'm hearing about that, period. This was 9 months before Stony. Okay, she was always in the background. I wish to God I had questioned everybody together, but I didn't.
Would you say this was around August 30th, 2012?
No, this was before August 30th. August 30th is when he died. This was maybe a week and a half.
Before he died?
Yes.
Okay. So that time you that set off some action?
Yes, I went upstairs because Stephen was upstairs in his room. And I went upstairs and I said, Stephen, said you was humping on him. And then Stephen stood up and he looked at me, and right then I could tell something was wrong in his face because he was just like this. Ain't normal kid. I know my kid would have been like, what? That's not what he did. He stood up and looked at me like he had lost his mind. Okay? And it just, hearing that from him had me up in my head, period. But I asked him, I said, Stephen, tell me the truth. Was you humping her? He said, yes, but that was all. And I said, did you hump on him with your underwear off? He said, no. He yelled out, yes, he did. And I just remember going in the hallway, walking back and forth, like, and I walked back up and I was like, you your brother? You know what I'm saying? You your brother.
Okay, she said humping on him. Did he just hump, you know, like a dog hump? When the dog going to heat, they just literally hump anything, any and everything. Or did he literally just put him cheeks apart and rape him? Like, one clarification right there. So did him just hump or did him rape? Where the hell him learn that though? Oh, muscle from the sister. This little boy is a sex expert. Some of the stuff that she talked about the little boy doing, which is a 9-year-old, she did not talk about the little girl doing it. So this little boy is a sex expert, period. Like, oh my God, you will learn. You will know why I'm saying he's a sex expert later on. You will understand.
So I'm looking at them too. I'm looking at them like, what? I can't understand. So I start punching Stephen. You know what I mean? I'm like, what the f*** is you doing to him? I just start asking him questions. at this point is just spilling out. He's just spilling out. And Mom, and he's doing like this, and he do this thing almost every night. He tell me how he was, the reason I put bags over Steven's head is because I thought in the bed, my son was never a bedwetter. Didn't know it was Steven waking up every morning.
And even if he was a bedwetter, okay, so my solution would be, if your child is a bedwetter, set your alarm for every 3 hours. Oh my God. Set your alarm for every 3 hours to wake them up, bring them to the bathroom so that they can pee. Or set it for midnight so you could wake them up to bring them to the bathroom to pee. Maybe if she had done something like that, she would have caught onto the little boy peeing on the other boy. Like, if he's a bedwetter, most kids doesn't just grow out of it. You have to chain them to grow out of it. Like, putting plastic on the bed was like helping in your case, not buying a new bed. But how was it helping him? He's still peeing on the bed. If he was a bedwetter, but like she said, he's not a bedwetter. The other one was peeing on him, so you know. Child.
Pissing on like he was a damn piece of shit. Okay? They had bunk beds. Steven would get out the bed in the middle of the night. You would rape him in his own bed. You would pee on him instead of going to the bathroom. I'm waking up every morning thinking.
See why I said he's a sex expert? Like, why would you pee on someone? You know, the kinky people. I had to read somewhere that some kinky people do that stuff, not all or something. So, yeah.
He's a bedwetter. So we just wash him up and go, you a bedwetter.
Let's talk about what you did to Steven.
The reason I put bags over Steven's head because my son told me that the plastic on his bed, because I thought he was a bedwetter, he said, sometimes, Mom, I couldn't breathe. Steven was laying on me, and he had my face down in the plastic on the bed. I couldn't breathe, and he was humping on my butt like a basketball. That's when I got a garbage bag and started putting it over Steven's head. And I started asking him, bitch, you know what I'm saying? You see what this feel like? You can't breathe? You stopping my... That's my son. You could not breathe.
They are both your son.
He was 6 years old at the time. You get what I'm saying? So I put the bags over his head. He lost consciousness. I did that a couple times. He tell me that would be face down. He had stuff around his neck. So I grabbed Steven and I grabbed a belt and I put a belt around his neck and I lifted him up. Like, do you like how this feels? Being choked with a...
That must hurt. A little 9-year-old, like, all his body is off the ground, and it's just, oh my God, that must hurt like crazy.
belt. So I dropped him. I held him up until he lost consciousness as well.
You were intending to...
No, I did not intend to kill Steven.
No, I'm not... Listen to my question. You were intending to inflict serious physical harm, but not kill him.
Definitely.
Okay. Did you also punch him?
Yes, I did. Multiple
also
times.
kick him?
Yes, I did.
You talked about choking him. Did you also burn him?
Yes, I did.
Okay, how did you do that?
Hot water, scalding hot water. In our bathroom, the hot water gets extremely hot. So, his private area, I stood him in the bathtub naked. You my son with your, you know? So yes, I threw hot water in his genital area multiple times. Every time Steven peed in my son's eyes, he put it in his ears, his nose.
Like, where would this little boy learn to do all that? Remember, the girl was teaching him, yes, but she's a girl. She wouldn't know. Maybe she wouldn't know about stuff like that. Maybe. But where the hell is this little boy learning this stuff? Is he the one? He see someone in the house doing it. Two, he sees someone outside doing it. But he's a child, so when he goes out, people normally monitor kids and stuff like that. So that would take a lot of time for him to watch, to remember, and learn all this stuff. Or three, he would watch it on the television. But no, parents would be having parental lock on the television. So Where the hell they learn all this? And if them have one phone, people monitor them Pitney phone. Something not adding up. Like, where the hell these kids learn this stuff? Where?
He even told me one time, Mom, and in my eyes he said it was gooey, but it wasn't pee. And then right then it was like I didn't even know a 9-year-old could ejaculate. You get what I'm saying? So not only did you do
Okay, so the case is, some people were saying a 9-year-old could ejaculate, some are saying not. I'm on the defense that yes, they could. Because ejaculation is not sperm, which you need to fertilize the egg for baby to be born. Okay. So from my understanding, I learned that ejaculation is up here, sperm is up here. When you're all doing the nasty and they're having fun, they both come down and they mix together at some point and come out. So maybe he would be a little too young for sperm. I don't remember about that topic right there, but I think a 9-year-old can ejaculate. Some people are saying yes, they can. Some are saying no, they can. I think they can.
that in my son's eyes? So my son had to go through all this shit. So yes.
The fact that there was ejaculation in his eyes, like there was gooey stuff in his eyes, and she just washed it out and just go on like a regular day. When he's a 6-year-old, says a lot. Like there's stuff like that in your son's eye. You washed it out, yes, but you bring his ass to the doctor because it could also cause the infection. Like what? And so many stuff were happening to him, and he did not click. Was it a man? Okay, I have a very sickly child in my head. I need to carry him to the doctor more to monitor him. Like what? Sis, do you have sense? Do you have sense? Like, oh my God.
I threw hot water on him repeatedly. Yes, it did. His skin came off. His skin came off. Yes, I did, because told me in the middle.
I just heard that part. His skin came off, and you keep doing it. Oh my God. When hot Albert made hot, compared to when you throw hot water on someone and they escape, you go up. And remember, she don't bring them to the hospital, so she cheated on him. That's real life torture.
Yes, I threw hot in the middle of the night. He took him in the basement and he made him drink the blue stuff from under the sink. And I'm like, what blue stuff? So I walked downstairs. He showed me what I said. You made drink Windex. And then I went back to like years before, and I'm like, is this what was wrong with him? I thought he had the stomach flu, when you vomit and have diarrhea. You get what at the same time. At that time, this is what was going around. A lot of people.
I'm not gonna lie, I love to clear with Windex. This shouldn't be funny, but that's important. I guess spray the Windex on the window and then you take a napkin and you wipe and it come crystal clear. I love to clear with Windex. Either the blue one or the white one.
This what was wrong with him? I thought he had the stomach flu, when you vomit and have diarrhea. You get what at the same time. At that time, this is what was going around. A lot of people had. So this is what I thought he had. He didn't. Stephen made him drink Windex. So
she said a lot of people have it. This was what going around. That's a big question mark. Bring him to the damn hospital. A lot of people have it. It's going around. Your kids catch it. Bring them to the hospital. What? Sis, what? Well, you don't even deserve the word to be called sis. Girl, what? Oh my God.
yes, I made that boy drink Windex.
I'm just trying to clarify the record. Okay, again, you knew you were seriously harming him, but you didn't intend to murder him.
No.
Okay. But your actions ultimately caused his death.
Yes, they did.
Were you Stephen's mother?
Yes.
He was in your custody?
I don't claim him as my son now, and I do not claim Stoney as my daughter. I have 2 children. That's it.
Well, there you know.
Stephen and Stoney are demons. Period.
Listen to my question. At the time he died, he was in your custody or care?
Yes.
How old was he?
Stephen was 9.
And And again, did this happen at your house in the city of Detroit?
Yes.
What you did to Steven was punishment for what you did. Is that right?
For what he did to
Sorry,
yes.
for what Steven did to that was punishment.
And if I had killed Steven intentionally, I definitely would be proud to say I did. But I didn't. But I know all the things.
So apparently, whenever they said the little boy name, they beep it out. But people that know this lady will know who they are. And they're gonna tell their other friends, and the other friends gonna stretch it. I know maybe if I Google and I research hard, I will find out their name, but I'm not gonna do that. No.
That I did to him, how I hurt him, I know it did cause his death. You know what I'm saying? It was like that day, the day that he died, I went in his room, it was throw up in front of him on the bed. I got him up, he said he had to go to the bathroom, but he couldn't use the bathroom. By the time we came out the bathroom, his breathing was crazy. Steven usually has a strong heartbeat, but it was really faint, really faint. And then all of a sudden, he just started going like this, and I was holding him.
It's really faint. That means hospital time. You torture him now. Hospital time. Jeez.
We both sitting on the floor, and I'm actually holding him up. He couldn't even hold himself. I'm like Steven, doing like this, because the day before that, I actually said I'm gonna stop because I looked in the room like he is tore up, you know.
Were you starving him at this time as
No,
well?
I was not. I never starved him, and that's another thing that they're not understanding. He may have lost weight, but because they had their hands and they controlled him in every type of way, down to food. They would take his meat basically. We didn't always eat together. I thought him and Steven was very close. So
You have kids. If they don't eat together, at least monitor them. Like, you get up, you eat wherever you're eating. You get up, you go check on the kid, make sure that they're eating. Like, the bedroom is for sleeping. Why is the kid eating in their bedroom? The kitchen was made for cooking and eating at the table. Well, different people, different situation, but this is just crazy.
Steven would manipulate me. Mom, can we up in our room? I'm like, yeah, go ahead. I'm thinking that's his best friend, that's his brother. That's how he made it seem. But that's a lie. He kept up under his wing on purpose. Never wanted to be around Steven, and I don't know how I didn't see that. So they would take his food. It would actually only let him eat his vegetables. So yes, when I fed Steven, he only got vegetables and like healthy things, and it was minimal, like oatmeal and things like that. He did not get meat. He stole from my son, and actually when I tried to feed him, my son said, Mom, that's bold. They used to take my food all the time. That's bold.
Why would a 6-year-old be saying that's bullshit? Bull stand for bullshit. Why would a 6-year-old be saying that's bullshit? I mean, if it was in the fast-paced generation now, I would understand, but it was a little back then. Interesting. And the fact that he would say that about his brother speak volume.
You get what I'm saying? So yes. Now Stony, I did starve her. I did. 9 more months you going in your big ass. She was 13. My son told me how she used to sit on his face, and he said, Mom, it stinks real bad. And she was, you know what I'm saying?
Why would a 13-year-old genitals stay? You know, if you're a prostitute, maybe then, because sometimes they call infection when they do it without protection and stuff like that. Some prostitute, not all, some. But why would a 13-year-old vajayjay things? I mean, vajayjay shouldn't have a sun, and if it does, it should have a mild, light scent. So why would a vajayjay things? Interesting.
Yeah, she was 13. My son told me how she used to sit on his face, and he said, Mom, it stinks real bad. And she was, you know what I'm saying? Yes, I did. And then oatmeal is all that girl got. And she lucky she got that once a day.
Stoney only got oatmeal?
Oatmeal once a day. She's very lucky she got that. And I even have to hide the fact that I was giving her oatmeal for because he didn't want me to feed her, and he had every right to feel that way.
Hold on, Miss Claire, can we get
No, I'm good.
you're just have a few more questions. When you were physically harming Stephen, was it ever your intent to also cause any sort of serious mental harm?
Well, I don't understand what you mean.
When you were hurting him physically, was it also your intent to cause any sort of serious mental harm?
What do you mean, mentally damage him?
Yes.
Like beating him in the head?
No, like making it so that his thoughts aren't right.
No,
That
never.
makes sense? Okay.
Physical punishment on what you did to my child, because I had always told my kids the worst thing you can ever do to somebody is right to them. I always told my son that, and I always told the girls the worst thing you could do is cry rape on somebody if they didn't rape you. They fully knew what they were doing.
So you were only intending physical punishment?
Yes.
All right, no. Just so that I'm clear, you weren't allowing them to treat your other children like this, were you?
What do you mean?
You weren't allowing them to sexually assault.
I wasn't allowing that. I never knew.
That's
You get what I'm saying?
That's exactly what I wanted to know. You didn't know until afterwards.
It's like,
Am I right?
yes.
Okay.
It's this one instance, I was asleep. Why you didn't tell me? He said, Mom, I even ran the hallway and I had your hand. I was asleep. My son ran out and grabbed my hand. He was 6 and he was doing like this, trying to wake me up.
And also, let me drop a little key facts for all my sleepwalkers. If you sleepwalk, say your alarm to wake you up every motherfucking 3 hours or every middle of the motherfucking night, like you sleepwalk, you will sleepwalk and walk out the fucking house in the middle of the street and the car will motherfucking hit you because you're sleepwalking. Like, you need to set this alarm to wake you up so that you look around, see where you are. If you're not in the bedroom, you find your ass back in the bedroom. Like, you need something to monitor yourself. Or if you sleepwalk, let someone lock you in the room from outside during the night so you have nowhere to sleepwalk to. Like, that's just crazy and risky. Like, you could sleepwalk and walk out to a motherfucking store window and fall all the way down and die. You could walk out, I can go on for days. I've read books about people sleepwalking and it's just crazy. It's just crazy. You have kids in the house. You need to wake up. Like, my God, that's just crazy.
Stevie was grabbing him back by the back of his shirt, pulling me, and I said, why didn't you just scream out? He said, I don't know. You get what I'm saying? He even had my hand pulling on me, trying to wake me up. Since I'm a hard sleeper, I didn't wake up. So to hear my son say that to me is real up that should happen right up under my nose. So, man, I don't regret none of this. I don't regret any of it.
It happens under your nose because there were a lot of signs you were not paying attention to. So this happens under your nose.
With my son, that's my baby. There's no way that his brother and sister should know what he feels like on the inside. There's no way.
Understood.
I don't feel no remorse for the death of them demons.
Okay. All right. I'm going to
You're a
accept the
demon.
plea unless either counsel's dissatisfied. Oh, medical examiner's report. Go ahead.
Your Honor, the medical examiner report for Stephen Gage Berry is Joint People and Defense Exhibit number 1. It's dated March 27, 2015. The medical examiner's report for Stoney and Blair is Joint People and Defendant Exhibit number 2, all dated March 27, 2015.
They're accepted and they're admitted.
Your Honor, I'm wondering if Ms. Blair ever called the police to report this.
Can you answer that question?
Why is she asking?
We're just trying to make a clear record.
You mean to report what they had done? No.
They had done to
No. But after I found out about Stephen, even before I started hitting him, I did actually call the police on advice, and I told them like a hypothetical situation, like if, because I was scared, like, you get what I'm saying, what's going to happen with my other two. I definitely want to do I was definitely about to leave. After that, just...
It's just crazy. So she found out that her eldest son is raping her youngest son. And instead of calling the cops for them to come and deal with it the proper way, do proper investigation and stuff like that, she called him to see what they would do in a case like that, like, so that with her about her other two kids. And then she started just taking her into her own matters, into her own hands, and whooping them. That's what I'm saying, cops. There's a cop's force. There's a cop car passing. It's just crazy. It's not all the time you should take the law into your own hand. No. Right, so let's continue back again.
And I'm asking them in a case where it's one brother that's been raping the other, what can be done? Will they take both kids out of the home? And he said, well, actually, yes, they would take both kids out of the home, but this is a case for CPS. And they said, did it happen to you? And I said, no, it's actually your friend. He said, the best thing I can do is tell you to call CPS and they can guide you further on what to do. And they said, but basically it has to be an investigation, so both will be taken out of the home. Get what I'm saying?
I understand.
And how they manipulate, I was their mother. So if they can manipulate me, no. And I was not letting Stoney go anywhere. I'm glad. I actually was going to turn myself in right after Steven died. And I told my son that, I got to go, and I got to go turn myself into the police. I got to go turn myself in. And he said, turn yourself into what? And I said, turn myself into the police. That means I got to go. And then he said, I don't want you to go. When he said that was it. So I put Steven in the freezer, and I said, I'm going to stay with my kids as long as possible. And I'm glad I did, because if I had not have done that, I would not have found out about Stoney. You see what I'm saying? So everything happened how it was meant to happen.
What kind of freezer she put them in? I saw. Is it a long deep freeze or regular freezer? She would almost have to cut them up to fit them in a regular fridge freezer. It's just crazy. And the fact that when the cops come, they do the investigation and they take them out of the freezer, they have to use 3 days to thaw them the fuck out fully. Like, that's just crazy. 3 days. Crazy.
She could have been right with them, fooling everybody. And my son would have been totally ruined.
Your Honor, I have in my hand the postmortem report for Stoney Ann Blair and for Stephen Gage Beery. And the prosecutor and I are using it as both joint exhibits of Exhibit 1 and Exhibit 2, and we tender them to the court.
So they both has S name, Stoney, Steven, and they both has B last name, Blair and Barry, right? Yes, SB. Crazy.
I'll accept them.
To help you make a determination on a factual basis.
I still hate her lawyer. I still hate him. Alright, so this part is when they're trying to place a date for when she will be officially charged. So now we are going to watch the part where she was being interviewed, I think from prison, and she revealed everything.
The type of abuse that you had to suffer as a kid,
You mean sexual abuse?
if that's what happened.
That definitely did happen to me. That's why I know exactly how would have grew up. I told my mother what happened to me.
I don't know why, but they blocked us his name, and whenever they said his name and the thing come up, I'm like, she just said fuck. She just said fuck. Every time that thing come up, I just say, she just said fuck. That's what I said in my mind. Yeah.
The thing she said was, it's over with, so what you want me to do about it? What you mean what I want you to do? You get what I'm saying? So all I could do is go back and sit in my room and just sit there and look stupid. I'm a kid. And I'm just telling you what happened to me. You didn't do about it. And plus,
Just like how your two kids was a kid, but then you take it into your own hands and kill them. Was that what you want her to do? Like, go to the person that was raping you and kill them? Like, I mean, she could have at least talked to them. But maybe she was high of drugs. Like, the way she described her mother, it sounded like her mother no right in the head either. So, I think she hold a lot of grudge from her childhood and towards the rape where she used to get. She never healed over it, she never overcome it. So when she hears say our daughter and her son are rape her other son, she just unleash all of what she did hold from down there, so pan them two there and just kill them. Like, she have a lot of healing to do. She's still suffering from childhood. So
still had to see the person coming in and out my house. You're still friends with that person.
So do you believe that the violent person you went on to become you were a product of your own childhood?
I mean, everybody have choices, so...
You're right. Everybody has choices, and you choose the choice to take this matter into your own hands and then kill your two kids. So don't come up with that choice bullshit. Don't. You don't even deserve life in prison that you get. You don't deserve that.
I can't just blame all that on my mom because I was still an adult. Maybe I should have tried hard to get over that. But anybody who knows me, that touching the kids, the molesters, that no. If that...
You said try hard to overcome what happened into your childhood, but you did not try at all because you still hold grudge based on the way you talk about that touching, that feeling, that don't play with you. You didn't try hard enough. You're still in that phase, the healing phase. But not even the healing phase, because she don't make no move towards that. She's not in the healing phase. She's not even reached there, so no.
One thing I definitely would have killed over, it would have always been that. It's like, I grew up everything. I even tried to talk to my mom when I got in my mid-20s. She had strokes and things like that. And I'm like, Mom, she could barely talk. You could barely talk. She had so many strokes. And I'm telling you what my problem was, always with you. The hitting and all that. I just asked you to do something. The person lives around the corner on this particular...
See why you say her mom? Maybe her mother depend drugs and stuff like that because she had tried to talk to her mom. Now she grew up comes. Her mother should have at least try sympathize with her, understand what they are going through. She might not 100% understand the rape part, but at least sympathize with her. But she was being nonchalant. Nonchalant. You know what Alkaline say? Film song nonchalant, bitch. So, yeah.
Time it was just a woman named... She lived around the corner. She want to walk around like she big and bad all day. But mama, you big and bad. Everybody's scared of you. But when I come to you with some real and I tell you what happened to me, you didn't walk your around that corner and do to that woman like a power. So no.
She might be scared.
And this is why I say my kids knew better because I've always told them everything that happened to me. I told them why, because I don't understand why it took me so long to tell my mom when I was a kid. You never talked to me about like this, but when I did come to you, you didn't do so I always made...
So I think her kids learn about some of those stuff because she said she always talked to her kids about what happened to her childhood in details, quote unquote detail. So I think those kids were just curious about some of what she says, so they start doing the same shit that she was telling about them. Like, you should tell me you get raped, but not in details like that. No. So I think she kind of contributed to that rape because she said in detail. So if she goes in detail down to what happened, like, oh, this day he did that to me, he put his thing where he shouldn't put his thing and it hurt like hell and stuff like that, they're gonna be curious and want to know too. They're gonna experiment. They're kids. So if that's what she did, I think she contributes at that part to those stuff.
Sure, I told my kids this. I told them what happened to me, how it happened to me, how it made me feel in detail. And I say, if anybody ever touches y'all, you better tell me. They knew. I always talk to my kids about that touching from anybody. So they definitely knew. And this is the part that really gets me. I used to tell her rape is the worst thing you can do. Just I tell her all the time. They used to make me feel like I was nothing. It made me feel like I wasn't. You turn around and you do that to my son, you knew exactly what you was doing to him. She knew exactly what the she was doing to him. So yeah, and I don't care what anybody think. She had to go, period. So I damn sure wasn't about to let grew up mad as hell all the damn time. Can't trust nobody.
Maybe.
When it was just as simple as, you're my mother, do something. Didn't call the police, didn't do just said it's over with now. What the you want me to do about it? That's my response. So yeah, that's the problem. And this is what can happen to a kid. When like that goes.
So you're saying when a kid is being raped a childhood and stuff happens to that with their kids, it is okay to kill your kids because of what happened to you in childhood? Oh, you mean when you're raped in childhood and you don't adjust the situation, when you grow old, you grow fucked up? That must what you're trying to be saying, because you're fucked up. Like. Oh my God. Okay, I'm assuming everybody talk about the father. I'm assuming they're going to talk about the father then because I'm a deadbeat. But we never talk about them before, so we're going to talk about them now. Alright, so one Pitney in the fridge for 3 years and one in the fucking fridge for 4 years. Sorry for me, because someone not, but this part just take me the fuck off. Like, you haven't called your baby mama in 4 months. Not even 4 months. 4 years. Okay. What happened? Where's Steven? Let me talk to Steven. Put my baby on the phone. Hello? Where's the Blair? No, where's Tony? Let me talk to Tony. Put my baby on the phone. Like 3 years, 4 years. And mind you, these guys are alive. And Panda day when she when them they are fight for custody, she there fight for custody and the 2 kids were left. Them did in the courthouse sit down to a front bench. But when the Pitney them did, when she did torture the Pitney them, when she killed the Pitney them, none of them never called and talk about make me talk to them and Pitney them. I think one of the dads are homeless. He doesn't even have a social security number. I think some shit like that. Some shit like that. I mean, in the United States, everybody should have a social security number. Like, that is just like your birth certificate. You know, you're doing every little thing. You need your birth certificate, social security number, birth certificate. That's not like your birth certificate. I think when you're born, I wasn't born here, so I'm not really 100% sure. But when you're born, you're assigned a social security number so that they could track you. You know how much people in other country. You know, stuff like that. But it's just crazy. The father them just come up and come on the front bench. But when them Pitney did that, they are touched, and where were they to be seen? Nowhere. The nerve.
That wouldn't happen to my son, period. So when I say he got closure, he got it. I knew exactly what he was feeling. Even when my son was talking to me about some of the stuff, he would go like this to his face. And he was like, Mom, and it feels so nasty. And that right there, I knew it.
I think the part when she says he got closure, I think she's portraying her emotion at that point. Because he's a child. Years later, when he grows older, he's gonna be like, oh, if I didn't say anything, they would be alive today and stuff like that. You know, some kids might, some might not. But like, if he does that, that's gonna show that you got closure. He didn't. Because she was so against rape because of what happened to her. So when she killed those 2 kids, she feel content inside. She would feel content because to her, it would be like back at her childhood. If only someone had killed that lady that raped her, she wouldn't be raped so much and stuff like that. So you got peace. He didn't got it. You did. Like, lady.
Exactly what he was doing. I knew how he was feeling because that's how I used to feel. When he did that, I knew it. There ain't no amount of talking. It was, no. So when you tell me she was a 13-year-old child, okay.
A 13-year-old child who knew about rape in details all because of you. Your 13-year-old child, you tell her stuff in detail, so that blame goes on you, mom. M-A-M.mom, not M-O-M-M-A-M .mom. Don't do that.
Heinous crimes in this world has been by kids. So I don't want to hear that. That's my family. I don't give a damn what America thinks. But I also want to tell America.
So now you want to claim them as family. First, you don't claim the two kids know they're family. Make up your mind.
Some of the most heinous crimes in this world has been by kids. So I don't want to hear that. That's my family. I don't give a damn what America thinks. But I also want to tell America they can kiss my ass. Don't throw no stones, because they got a whole lot coming their way too.
We can throw stone all we want because you did the crazy stuff, not us. We don't do crazy stuff like that. Well, let's just say half of America doesn't do crazy stuff like that. But what you did was really fucked up. Like, no one has the right to take a life from a person. No one. I mean, expect God. If you don't serve God, whatever gods or whatever you serve, only them has the right to take a life. The creator that you serve, yes. Like, that's just fucked up, lady.
Just feel more comfortable for them to be able to say, well, my sin is not as bad as yours. At least I didn't kill my kids. That in God's eyes, we all down here.
Duh.
That's period.
We are all sinners down here, yes. But that still doesn't give us the right to kill the person. Especially your kids, lady. Your kids. The thing you bear, the thing you lay down and have fun making, the thing that you carry for 9 months, the thing that you raised for 9 years, the creature that you raised for 13 years. Not gonna call it a thing. It's a creator. No, the creator is the God. You create the stuff. The child. Let's just call it the child. Not to be disrespectful, even though I hate her. The child.
Okay. But I love and I love.
So you love those two,
and
but
I'm
not the
always
two
love.
that
That's
you
my
kill?
son.
That's just fucked up. Period. I don't care what they did. They're our kids. And they learned about most of this stuff because of you, lady. You go into details about this stuff. Like, didn't it ever click into your mind after all this happened? Like, oh, shoot. I told them what happened in detail. They're kids. Their mind's gonna wander. Like, anyway, stay tuned for your next story time. If you don't have one story, wanna know about like stories similar to this, I'm gonna do more like I'm gonna try to stick to stories similar to this. If you don't know any, come tell me. I'm gonna research it. I get my views. I'm gonna watch it and so forth. Alright, so that's it for today. Stay tuned. Enjoy. See you all around.